Hey you, you're super. Good afternoon YouTube, Merch Hunter Ricky back, and we are talking about Fabricant 100 Chapter 6. Probably, and I think I've said this for just about every chapter since 4, probably the craziest chapter yet. And I know it's the first six chapters of a beginning manga, can't really be overhyping it, can't really start overstating things yet, but I can't help but feel like this is a really good story on our hands. I like how just simple information bombs that other mangas would probably take a little bit longer to show you, they're just kind of giving us everything all at once. And even then, since this new arc, I don't even know if you could call the first 3 issues an arc, you know what I mean? This is all the beginning, this is all the start of a new adventure, right? We only have like 4 or 5 characters, you know? We have Ashibi, we have Fabricant 100, we have Luca and Friend, who is still unnamed. Name him already. We have a unknown Fabricant that we know is number 1. We don't know what he looks like, we don't know his name. For all we know, he could have hair. In the picture they showed of him, he was clearly bald though. And now, as of chapter 6, we get the leader of Mort Safe. A girl with an attitude bigger than her body and probably a power level to match. I'm not really one for power scaling, but I highly doubt it would be wise for Fabricant or Ashibi to try anything in her presence. I'm really enjoying Luca's little side mission, or I guess main mission, to separate Ashibi and Fabricant. Upon the final chapter's end, well, not final, the previous chapter's end, which was Ashibi wanting to join the Mort Safe with Fabricant 100, it really pissed Luca off, and he's not having any of it, to the point where he's like childishly withholding answers to questions. Like in this chapter, Ashibi's like, hey, how do you move so fast? And he's like, I'm not telling you, I don't want to tell you, because you're going to bring Fabricant 100 into my organization. I'm not with that. So with that being said, he then tells Ashibi early on in the chapter that he needs to go and get the permission from the boss. However, the boss's permission, and they don't really like go too ham on her appearance. She's just like a girl with kind of like Zenitsu-ish hair. I think that's his name from Demon Slayer, the blondie. She's kind of got like a, not like a bowl cut, but more like a I don't even know how to call it, like the beginnings of a mullet almost, her hair looks like. But it's nice hair. She's got a cool little outfit on. She's just sitting there. I think she had like teacups or something in front of her. But that's neither here nor there. I like that they immediately establish clear direction again at the end of the chapter, which is something I like about this manga in general. The start of the chapter proposes the problem, and the end of the chapter finishes it. There's never really like a quote-unquote cliffhanger per se. It's more so what to expect in the coming chapters, because you will get it. And what we got at the end of this one was the leader of the Mort Safe just basically stating to Ashibi and Fabricant 100, like, listen, kid, I'm totally fine with getting the strongest Fabricant as our ally. I could care less. But you are unpredictable, and you're kind, and I don't need that in my organization, because you're going to start treating Fabricants like humans. And this is something that Luca harped on as well. You know, where is the line crossed? Or rather, where does Ashibi draw his line with Fabricant 100? Because we already see at the end of the chapter, he's not like forgiving her, but he's like going along with what she was doing for him, which at the time I think she swiped a sandwich and gave it to him, and he brought up number 1, and she was embarrassed, like, oh, you heard that? And, you know, obviously he knew, you know, and he kind of like, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't like forgive her, but he does accept the sandwich. And I just find that interesting. Like, I personally thought we were going to continuously have them beef for a little bit until she, like, saves his life, or, you know, what have you, anime style, manga style storytelling. But who is playing who is the bigger question here. And I like that. I don't know if Fabricant is just going to use Ashibi, because, like, what if we get to the last chapter and she just rips him apart and sews his body parts on and then just kills number 1? Like, will you be, like, shocked? Because I think I would be like, she killed him. Oh, my God. You know? But, like I said, it's way too early to make rash predictions. But I'm holding true to my main prediction, which is that 99 and 98, those two Fabricants will be one of the main villains of this story. Probably this, obvious strongest Fabricants next to 100, and having them be a duo would make it really hard for her to just one-shot them like she has been. And furthermore, like I said, another question we need to answer to is, how are the Fabricants classified by number, or is he just numbering them by the number he's killed them? I think he genuinely has a way of figuring out what number that Fabricant was, or Fabricant 100 just knows straight up. I met all of them; they're my homies. What is really, really driving this manga, and I hope it spikes in popularity soon, is, like I said, it's got the beginning, literally the first panel will typically have the problem, and it's always the very last panel that proposes the solution. Now, in this case, they kind of drop it 3 or 4 panels beforehand, but they're like, hey, your next Fabricant is this. It's a singer. I think they said her name was Ruby. I'm probably wrong. I just read the chapter this morning, and then later on I read it again, and I realized I wouldn't have time to film today. So I just decided to get this quick one out because it's been 2 weeks since I dropped a video, and I'm very sorry for that. Life circumstances, I don't need to bore you with them. These things, they happen. But I'm back, and that's all that matters. So, what I'm worried about personally is this new Fabricant, because he said, the leader said, she says to Ashibi, you need to learn to treat Fabricants like monsters, because that's what they are. This singer, lures people in and seduces them and kills them. So, what are we going to do when Ashibi is presented with a Fabricant that, looks like a child or something like that, Or a Fabricant that might look similar to someone he knew. I personally think when they show the sister and they show Fabricant 100, they look very similar, Maybe that's why he likes her so much. But for now, I'm just wondering where we're going from here after we kill this Fabricant. Will we get more Fabricants? Will we just kill her and go back to Mort Safe typical style? Which I wouldn't mind, I like that the manga contains direction and purpose, but doesn't stray from that plot. Like I said, the dude traveling with Luca doesn't even have a name yet. We don't know this guy. He's just there. And I think he's a child. I could be wrong, but that's what it seemed like in this chapter when Ashivi was looking at him. I wonder, did that child force his way in here too? Because he clearly wasn't talking about Luca. Because, both the child and Ashivi are are you even an adult? When he denies the chance to tell Ashivi about how his powers work. But, so that's where we are right now. We're looking at a moral quandary for Ashibi to decide where the line is on Fabricants. Do I treat them like monsters? Do I treat them like humans? Will I get closer to Fabricant 100, or will I keep her at arm's length like I'm attempting to now, poorly, I might add. But, like I said, I like where this is going, and I have been liking it since chapter 1. And with other mangas, I did not like that. Even with One Piece, when I read the manga versus watching the anime, I did not really like the manga at first, but it grew on me and it grew on me. And this manga right here, I think, is special, because Fabricant 100 does this thing where it kind of just shoves you into the world with no baptism, if you will. You're just kind of just all right, this is the status quo, here's what you got to work with, and here are your main characters. And it's very nice for a change. Not having to meet 47 side characters per chapter is also nice, so keep doing that. I don't really have much else to say other than bang up job of a chapter, and it looks like we're going to hit our 24th Fabricant kill pretty soon. This next chapter or the chapter after it, I'm assuming, because it could be a whole chapter fight, you never know. Moreover, they might not succeed in offing her, so there's always that possibility as well. All in all, I'll go ahead and slap this chapter with a big fat 90. Great stuff. Not one panel is wasted, not one dialogue bubble is wasted. So all of it wrapped up together in a neat little package and said, here's what you need to expect, here's what you need to look forward to, and here are some things to think about until then. I like this manga a lot. I don't really have much else to say. So, with that being said, I've been Merch Hunter Ricky, you've been you, which is awesome, and have a good day. And as always, like and subscribe to be part of the Merch Hunting Tribe. Got another video for you, and my next one will actually feature merch for once.